This is probably one of the most unexpected and honestly disappointing videos that I've ever had to make in the history of my YouTube career. But yeah, I figured it was time to give y'all an update on my skin because she's been going through some things. And I'm in my bathroom just because I have some products that I want to show y'all, and I just figured honestly it'll just be a lot easier if I'm in my bathroom and I can grab them real quick as opposed to like carrying them all the way to my living room or a filming room or something like that. So that's why we're in my bathroom, and of course this is where skincare happens. So why not talk about skincare in my bathroom? I think my skin has been, or not I think, I know my skin has relapsed since taking Accutane. If you're new here, I will put my skincare playlist somewhere in the cards. But ultimately, I took Accutane from 2021 to 2022, and I finished, honestly, at this point, it's like probably at the year mark. I finished either March or early April of 2022. So it's been almost a year. My skin had been clear all the way from March or April 2022 when I stopped Accutane. Honestly, it had been clear before I even stopped, but it had been clear off of Accutane from the time I stopped all the way through about, call it like December of 2022, so December of last year. And what happened? So in November, I did get a couple breakouts, but honestly, I hadn't really thought anything of it just because I do tend to get breakouts around my cycle, hormonal acne. There's not really anything you can do about that. A lot of people, even after getting off Accutane, get a couple spots, a couple pimples during their cycle or around their cycle. That's normal. Then in December, I started like a fitness journey, my fitness journey. So I started like working out. I started taking a lot of protein shakes. I started just like being a lot more active and focusing on weight gain and like eating a lot of foods and drinking protein shakes that like would bulk me up, would help me gain weight, all that kind of stuff. And that is where things just went fully downhill. I started working out. I think the first day I went to my trainer was December 5th. And obviously gyms are very dirty places. They're very sweaty places. Like everybody's sweating, touching the same equipment, all that kind of stuff. So I know that the gym is a very dirty place. And obviously like when you sweat out a lot of toxins, a lot of bacteria, like all that kind of stuff. So first and foremost, I know that I was not being as hygienic as I should have been, and I know I was not focusing on like making sure my skin was staying clean. Some workouts I don't sweat at all. Some workouts I sweat like a dog. But on the workouts where I sweat, I would literally just like take my t-shirt and like pat my sweat with my t-shirt, which is absolutely disgusting. Girl, don't ever do that. I don't know why I did that. I wouldn't immediately wash my face when getting home from the gym. I would like take my time. I would literally like cook a whole breakfast, sit down at the dining room table, eat my breakfast, watch a show. Like I would just move so slow, and it would take me like, no lie, probably like an hour, hour and a half after leaving the gym to shower and like wash my face and all that kind of stuff. On top of that, after I got off Accutane, I was not using any actives, like anything that would help prevent acne coming back. So my skincare routine was very minimal, very simple. I wasn't using any like acne fighting actives. So I literally was just using my CeraVe face wash and my CeraVe lotion and a sunscreen. Literally, that was it. No retin-A, no retinoid, no nothing. Literally just super simple skincare. Because I thought like, oh, I'm not on Accutane anymore. Like my skin is new. My skin is like a baby's skin, and acne will never come back regardless of what I do. Clearly, that's not the case. Also, when I started working out, my trainer told me to start taking a whey protein because that helps to like gain weight, helps me to bulk, all that kind of stuff. And I didn't know what whey protein was. I just like went to the store and bought a huge tub of whey protein, and I started just like drinking 2 of those a day, 2 whey protein shakes every single day. Girl, within like 2-3 days, pimples just started popping up. popping up, popping up, popping up. Literally, I was getting 2 to 3 pimples every single day. And I was like, what is going on? So I researched whey protein and I found that whey protein is directly linked to causing acne because, I don't know, y'all, something about it's a dairy product and something be doing something in your system and your body that basically causes more acne. I'm not a dermatologist. I'm not a scientist. I did my research, and basically even my dermatologist told me like whey protein has been scientifically proven or connected to causing acne. So I stopped taking whey protein, but I had taken it for like, no lie, probably like 3 or 4 weeks before I decided to stop taking it. So probably like the whole month of December until like the end of December, I was taking whey protein shakes twice a day. So that was a lot of whey protein. So then I went to my dermatologist at the end of December, and she was basically like, let's just see how your skin does now that you've come off of whey protein, now that you're not taking it anymore. And then she gave me like a dapsone or adapalene, I don't know, something to help with like the bacteria buildup and stuff like that. So it's basically like a topical antibacterial situation. And that's when I also started using my tizarotene again, or Araslo is the brand name of it. And I use that probably like once or twice a week, not nearly as much as I should. So after that, the breakouts really didn't stop. It got significantly worse, or it gets significantly worse when I'm on my cycle. But even outside of my cycle, I have still been getting a lot of breakouts. That's how my skin has gotten really bad. But then about 2 weeks ago, at the end of February, early March, it's probably the end of February, I went to my dermatologist and I was like, look, I'm getting married. Our wedding, we have a date. It's this year. It's later this year. I'm not going to tell y'all when it is. I need my skin to be clear by my wedding date. I don't know if I need to do an expedited treatment of Accutane. I don't know what we need to do, but we need to figure it out. So she put me on a completely new skin regimen, and that is where we are today. I've been using it for about 2 weeks. Next week will be my 3rd week. It typically takes about 6 weeks to actually see the results of a new skincare regimen where I'm using new actives and stuff like that. But I will say, honestly, like just using this new regimen for 2 weeks, my texture has improved significantly. I do still have like a couple breakouts. I don't know if y'all can see, I have a couple breakouts over here, but for the most part, my texture has gotten significantly better. I don't have nearly as many of those like small flesh colored bumps and blackheads that I used to have. Yeah, let me show y'all what I've been using. So these are all the products that I've been using in the morning. It's just 4 products. So the first one is my cleanser. It is this IS Clinical Cleansing Complex. It has salicylic acid, but it also has a bunch of other ingredients. But the main ingredient that is like absolutely amazing in this is the salicylic acid. It's like a nice, gentle jelly type of cleanser. It doesn't necessarily sud up too much. It's like a jelly type of texture. But yeah, because it is a salicylic acid, it helps with oil. It really like gets into my pores and helps to just like break up that oil, break up that dead skin, and just like turn my skin cells over so that they're not getting clogged with bacteria and oil and thus causing pimples. So it is a pretty penny compared to like a drugstore cleanser, but to me, it is very much worth the price. So after I cleanse, I treat with these exfoliating pads. These are from my dermatologist. If you're in Atlanta, I go to Steel Dermatology. But yeah, so these are their exfoliating pads, and it has 5% glycolic acid and 2% salicylic acid. It comes with 60 pads, but because my face is kind of small, I just like cut them in half. So for me, it's like 120 pads. That's a little cheat code for me because using one full pad is just way too much for my face. Glycolic acid, as I understand it, as just your regular, degular, schmegular consumer, it doesn't dissolve into the skin, or it isn't like water soluble or oil soluble. Girl, I don't know. Basically, it sits on top of the skin. and it helps to turn over dead skin cells on top of the skin. So it also helps with hyperpigmentation, versus the salicylic acid, similar to the cleanser, is really able to get into my skin cells and get into my pores and actually break up the oil, break up the dirt, break up the dead skin, and like help turn it over so that like my skin doesn't get too clogged up. So once I treat with my exfoliating pads and that dries down into my face, I then use my CeraVe Daily Moisturizing Lotion. I used to use the cream, but what I found, or at least like what I'm afraid of, is the cream just being way too heavy for my skin, clogging up my pores and causing more acne. So I just like this as a lightweight cleanser. And then after that, I put on my Ulta sunscreen. Y'all have seen this. I've literally used this probably more than half of my life. Ever since I've had acne, I've been using this. Glycolic acid does make your skin sensitive to the sun. So I like to make sure I put on a good bit of this, especially if I know I'm gonna be going outside. So then in the evening, these are the 3 items that I use. Very similar to the morning time. I use my IS Clinical Cleansing Complex with salicylic acid amongst a bunch of other ingredients. But the most important and the star of the show for my evening routine is this bad boy right here. As you can see, she's been used and she will continue to be used. This is my Arazlo, aka Tazarotene. Essentially what this does is tell my skin to turn over new skin cells constantly. So it helps with preventing my pores getting clogged. It also helps with hyperpigmentation because new skin cells are coming in. So it's getting rid of like those hyperpigmented skin cells, obviously at a very slow rate, as opposed to like a chemical peel or I don't know, something like that. This is probably like the gold standard of any acne skincare routine. So I was using this before my skin got really bad. I was using it like once or twice a week. I was like, I don't really need this, but I'll just use it as like a just in case. Now I'm working up to use it every single night. So I'm currently using it 4 nights a week. It is very irritating as far as like dryness, redness, all that kind of stuff. So I do want to work my skin up to it so that my skin doesn't get overly irritated with it. I used to use this every single night before I was on Accutane, so I know I can handle it. I just don't want to go too far too soon with this, with reintegrating it into my routine. And then after I use my Tazarotene treatment, I go in with my CeraVe moisturizer. And then I do have a few honorable mentions. First one being my Aquaphor. So I use this on my lips. So I paused on using my Laneige lip sleeping mask and I've just gone back to good old Aquaphor because she always, like, she's really good for the skin, very good to the skin. And in my opinion, very underrated. So this is what I use on my lips. I have also gone back to using spironolactone. I don't want to show y'all too close because my address is on this. After taking the whey protein, my hormones were just all over the place, or have been all over the place. And this is kind of just meant to regulate my hormones, slow down the production of androgens and testosterone, and just like get my hormones back regulated. I'm not sure how long I'll be on this. Maybe it'll be long term, maybe it'll be just like 3 or 6 months, and then I'll be able to get off of it and my hormones will just kind of like be back to normal. I don't really know. I've taken this before. It worked wonders on my skin for about like 9 months or so. And then after it stopped working is when I took Accutane. So hopefully this can be just like a temporary medication that I have to be on so that my skin can just like get back regulated, my hormones can get back regulated, and I'll be done. I don't know, we'll see. This is another one that I got from my dermatologist. I'm not gonna lie, this really didn't do much for me. I was using this in like January before I started using the exfoliating pads and the Tazarotene regularly and all that kind of stuff. It didn't really do a whole lot for me, but I do like to spot treat my pimples with this whenever I do break out. I think it's more of a mental thing. It just helps me like feel better about myself. but I don't think it actually does a whole lot for my skin personally. Something else I do want to say is that my acne is not the same kind of acne that it used to be. Like, my acne before Accutane was very, very just like red, aggressive, really big under the skin hormonal pimples. Now, I don't know what kind of pimples these are, but they're very small. Most times they're very small. So when they pop up, they're pretty quick. They don't last long, and they're not super hormonal. So yeah, that is it for my acne, my Accutane relapse, what caused it, and what I am going to be doing moving forward. Once I have my breakouts 100% under control, I will be doing chemical peels. So let me know if y'all want to see videos on chemical peels. I do have a couple videos, but you know, if y'all want more, I can do more videos on my chemical peels. That's pretty much it. This is what my skin is looking like. This side of my face is so much more clear than this side. It's literally like two different faces. And also, girl, go away. Just go away. Like, look at these. They're such huge dark marks, such huge dark marks. So yeah, it's been really disheartening. I've cried about it. I've moped about it. I have journaled about it. I have not filmed videos because of the texture of my skin, or because I hate wearing makeup and I don't really want to come on camera without makeup, but then I also don't want to come on camera looking like this. Also, when I wear makeup, I undoubtedly will get a breakout from wearing makeup because my skin hates makeup. It sucks. And I have really bad days, and then I have days like this where I'm just like, girl, it is what it is. What you gonna do? Hide? No. So just address it, talk about it, understand that it is reality, and move on and do what I can to get rid of it, get it under control, stop touching my face. Anyways, if y'all have any questions about my Accutane journey, be sure to watch my skincare playlist. If you have any questions on my Accutane relapse, leave them in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see y'all in my next video. If you see me looking like this, don't ask, because I'm gonna just direct you to this video, okay? All right. See you in the next one. Peace.